Once upon a time, not too long ago, a man was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. That's a big city to a small town, which meant he probably had some valuables with him. And along the way, robbers jumped out of the bushes and stole everything he had. They beat him up pretty bad and left him half dead on the side of the road. Now, by pure coincidence, a priest was walking down that same road. He saw the injured man, but he didn't stop. He just walked right past him and kept going. A Levite, which was kind of like a helper in the temple, also walked by, and he didn't stop either. But a Samaritan, a foreigner who wasn't even supposed to be there, came across the injured man, and he stopped. He took one look and felt really bad, but he had places to be and things to do. So he decided to help the man out. He poured some wine into the man's wounds, put him on his donkey, brought him to an inn, and paid for him to stay there. Then he made sure the man was taken care of, and then he went on his way. A few days later, Jesus told this story to a man named Nicodemus, who was a teacher of the law. After he finished, he asked them, "Which one of these men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was robbed?" Now, being a religious guy, Nicodemus answered, "Well, obviously the one who helped him, who took care of him, and brought him to an inn." But Jesus said no, it was the Samaritan, because he showed mercy on him. Then Jesus added something that really surprised Nicodemus. He said, "Go and do likewise." So what does this story teach us? Well, there are many lessons hidden in these few verses. Like how sometimes people who look good on the outside can actually be bad on the inside. Or how when you think you're helping, you might actually be judged by others. Or how showing kindness to outsiders can sometimes be the most helpful thing you could do. But today I want to focus on one simple question that Jesus asked near the end of this story. Remember, Nicodemus was a religious leader. He knew the rules. He studied the laws. And when Jesus asked him which man was a neighbor, he answered correctly. But then Jesus asked him another question, one that I think all of us need to hear. He asked, "Which one of these men do you think was a neighbor to the man who was robbed?" And this was a trick question. It was a test. Because in the moment that Nicodemus gave an answer, he revealed where his heart truly lay. See, earlier in the story, when the robbers attacked the man, all three of these characters, the priest, Levite, and the Samaritan, had the opportunity to become that man's neighbor. They all had the chance to show compassion, to show mercy, to show love. But as they each came across the situation, they all had to make a decision. The priest and the Levite decided not to get involved. They looked away and kept walking. But the Samaritan, even though he was busy, even though it may have been dangerous, even though it cost him time and money, he stopped and he helped. You see, being a good neighbor isn't about where you come from, or what you believe, or even if it's convenient. Being a good neighbor means taking action. It means seeing the hurt and helping. It means caring enough to make a difference. In this powerful parable, Jesus flips the question from "Who is my neighbor?" to "What kind of neighbor will I be?" The Good Samaritan didn't just feel compassion, he acted on it. He crossed boundaries, took risks, and showed mercy when no one else would. Jesus calls us to do the same. To see the hurting, to stop when it's inconvenient, to love beyond what's expected. Because real faith isn't just knowing the right thing, it's doing it with a heart full of grace. So today, and every day, let's choose to be good neighbors. Let's live with eyes open to the needs around us and hands ready to help. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories that bring God's Word to life. And always remember, when we love like Jesus, the road becomes a little brighter for everyone. Until next time, go and do likewise.